Daily Dose of Darryl from the Peebles Motivation Bureau, Season 2, Episode 32, May the 8th through the 14th, 2023, entitled Mother. Since Mother's Day is coming up this week, I thought I should focus on mothers. The visuals will reflect something my mother taught me in various areas of life. Think about your mother as we go through this week. Monday, cooking. Cooking is the first I'm highlighting because she was the main cook in our home. Now, I must add that my dad cooked on special occasions when he wasn't working, since he was a cook in the military. I remember my mother allowing me to help cook things. She taught me many things about cooking, along with my Aunt Mittie, who lived across the street. I have fond memories of sifting flour and making biscuits, and making messes, learning how to use the stove, making cakes, and especially cupcakes and cornbread, and I even liked buttermilk back then with cornbread, believe it or not. And so many other things she taught me. In this particular week, I hope you will reflect on your mother especially, but of course don't leave out your dad. However, really look at different things your mother taught you, and how she taught you something that maybe has carried over into your life as you have become older. I remember asking my mother one time, since she made such really good fried chicken, if she could just make the brown stuff without the chicken, because I like the crunchy stuff. I remember her laugh about that. As I reflect on my fond memories in the kitchen, reflect on yours today, and think about your mother and how that has carried on into your adult life. Tuesday, cleaning. Another area of life that my mother taught me about was cleaning. Of course, my dad always said, when you finish a job building a house or some cabinets, no job is done till the cleanup's done. He also told me that if you're going to do something, make sure you have the right equipment. So you'll notice I've hired the pressure washing done because they had a lot better equipment than I did. And I could tell, though, it really needed cleaning. However, I remember around the house, my mother would allow me, LOL, to sweep the floors and even mop the floors. Our little patio area was basically dirt at one time, and I even had to sweep the dirt. Later, it became concrete, so I swept the concrete. The cleaning carried over into the clothing. We had a wringer-type washing machine. You young people can Google it, haha. After the wash, I was allowed to run the clothes through the wringer and even got to hang them out on the clothesline. You might need to Google that too. So cleaning became a part of my life from early on. Now, I will admit that I am not the best at it, but I'm okay. But I certainly know how, and I realize the value of it. Mine usually takes place between times of intense projects, when I'm cleaning up from one and starting the next. Look into your life and see where your experiences with your mother has helped you in the area of cleaning. Reflect on those memories and the lessons that you learned. Wednesday, flowers. The next area I call flowers because my mother always had a great yard and she loved flowers. She was always planting things. I remember one of my jobs. She had this great rose bush that ran up a trellis. My dad had built the trellis. My job became tying the rose bush to the trellis. Now, this thing was much taller than me, particularly when I was young, and I had to get a ladder to go up and tie it. I learned a lot about thorns and prickly things when I was doing that job. The flowers were always beautiful. The roses were gorgeous. But I learned in dealing with flowers that sometimes the beauty comes at a sacrifice. And sometimes it's a painful experience to be able to bring that beauty out into the yard. This week, think about your yard. Think about your mother, her flowers, or other hobbies, and how she passed them on to you, and how you can pass them on to others. Thursday, making the most. Next, this week, I'm highlighting making the most. My mother and father never let me know or even think that we were not rich. Looking back, it's obvious that we were very modest. They had 2 rooms. These included in one room a kitchen, a dining room, and a bathroom. The second room was a little larger, and that became the living room and their bedroom. When I came along, it was divided up so that I had a very small room. It would hold a bed, very small bed, and the shelves they installed for all my toys and projects and creative things. That experience has carried over because I learned from them that no matter what you have, you can learn to make the most of it. Throughout my life, I have learned something about spatial development. Even though you have a limited amount of space, you can make the most of it and do the most with it that others might not see as possible. Even if you have a very small closet of maybe 2 feet or 3 feet, you can develop that to be very high-functioning and useful. Think about your life and your mother and the ways that she taught you to appreciate what you have, to make the most of what you have, to learn to achieve no matter what level of experience or talent that you have, and no matter what type of resources you have. Look at where she taught you to make the most of every situation. Friday, caring. Finally, this week, I'm focusing on caring. I understand that not everyone has a mother they perceive as caring. However, most people do. I expect that you can probably look at your mother and see where she was caring at some point in some way. Now, this segment and these other segments have not highlighted the bush outside our house. The bush was something they invented before time out, and it had something called switches on it. Those are not light switches. I will say that my mother cared so much for me that she allowed me to go pick out my own switch. If you're old enough, you'll understand what that means. My mother came up with the motto for the city of Valley, Alabama, when it was formed in 1980. The motto was, Valley, Alabama, where people care and share. I believe that sentiment goes back to her early days as a child. She had a mother whose husband had to be hospitalized, but managed to keep her 6 children together. My mother was the oldest of 6. She became almost like a mother figure. She even dropped out of school early to help take care of the children. As she grew up, the other children began to have children of their own, but she did not. She learned to care for those children like they were her own. Finally, she had me after 10 years of trying, and I often joked that when she took one look at me, she decided that she should not try that again. Whatever the case, I wound up as the only one. I remember experiences where she was rocking me. She put me out on a blanket to absorb the sunshine. I couldn't talk with words yet, but I was trying to tell her, don't take me in because I really like it out here. She cared at each step of the way during my life, creating special little outfits, making birthday cakes for each occasion, dressing me up like an adult to go to church or special events, allowing me to be the cowboy or the baseball player, and providing model toys that I could put together and be creative. She always encouraged my creativity by taking me to art classes or dance lessons or baseball games and so much more. As I grew up, I can see where my mother affected my heart by taking me to church, where I learned to appreciate what God had done for me, and where my salvation and peace for now and eternity was received. That mother and that father continued to show their caring as I grew into adulthood. This week, look at your life to see where your mother and your father showed how they cared for you in many different ways. Begin to reflect on that and begin to envision how you can take that legacy of caring and continue to spread that to other people and communities. Saturday summary. Monday cooking. Recall the lessons learned from those early days in the kitchen. Tuesday cleaning. Remember how you first began to help with the cleaning? Wednesday flowers. Realize what it takes to bring the beauty out in the yard. Thursday, making the most. Think about how your mother taught you to make the most of your situation. Friday caring. Reflect on the stages of your life and how your mother showed her love and caring. Sunday stimulation. What have you cooked lately that provided nourishment for others? In what way have you cleaned something recently that made you feel better about your situation? How have you helped make the yard better and brought more beauty to your location? In what way have you used space or abilities in a more effective manner? List a few ways that you have shown the spirit of caring to others recently. This is Darryl R. Peebles, the man behind the microphone, bringing you something positive each day from the Peebles Motivation Bureau, both positive, personal, and professional. Remember, there are 3 divisions: digital, real life, and print. But in the digital, we have not only the YouTube channel, but the website, Zoom events, and much more. In the real life, we do pulpit supply, funerals, weddings, magic shows, keynote speakers, and more. And in the print division, not only books, but magazine articles, newspapers, and custom artwork. Locally ordered books from me can get signatures and special discount. This one is already out and about, helping others. Churches and pastors have special discounts. I appreciate you, your ideas, and support. Keep them coming. These are other areas that I might be able to help you, and these are my contact points. This is Daily Dose of Darryl, responding to the free and gracious gift of God. I am using humor, the art of illusion, modern technology, and decades of serving God and communities to work every day to uncover the beauty in all people and experiences coming my way, endeavoring to educate, entertain, and inspire. Each dose on this channel can help move us toward a better, healthier, and more informed mind, body, and spirit. I'm excited to be a small part of the expanding of our capacity to learn, love, and forgive, and together leave this world a better place for all. God bless you.